There is a music that underlies our speech. And the way we intone up and down and our resonances, those things are pretty important in communicating emotion and getting across how we're feeling. And so there's some technical things that if you look at the acoustics, some things are like if you've got a slow pace, you wonder whether the person is sad. But a slow pace can also mean that a person is compassionate or tender. And another cue is if you move smoothly up and down, as you move your words, you can kind of caress your words. And in that way you can also, it feels like caressing a baby or caressing someone's arm. So those things make a difference. What I would like to do is communicate more happiness and also more tenderness. So tenderness is more something like I want to join with you. I want to understand you. And the happiness is just from my own sense of, if I'm happy, then I'd like to communicate it. Another of the cues that scientists say are important is what your basic note is, your basic tone is. You can be speaking up high or you can be speaking much lower. And each of us has a different resonant frequency. The Buddha said that we're like strings on a lute. And if you tune us too tightly, we break. But if you tune us too low, we go out of tune and we don't resonate. So finding our right tone, the kind that just is right for us because it works for our voice box and our head, and our body. That's something that's helpful. So, bear with me here. I came up with a couple of exercises that we might try to find your own. And so taking Buddha's attitude like we're a lute, we can start very low. Like, have you ever heard a guitar being tuned? It goes boing, 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 boing. Boing, 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 and you can find kind of where it resonates for you. So would you be willing to try that with me? You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's a fun exercise, I think. And it can, you can work a little at finding your own resonance. So why don't we all start saying boing and start at a low level. So we're tuning your lute starting at a low level. Boing, 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 and keep on working. Where are you finding the right resonance? Boing, 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 boing. Thanks for playing with me, playing the lute with me, and seeing where it vibrates in your chest. See where it makes you happy, where it makes you happier, where it makes you sadder. The other thing that we were practicing in that is moving up the scale, up and down, and that's important in showing compassion also. So just practicing that up and down with the smoothness, that also is helpful. Now, I hope I'm not getting too technical. There's always a danger that when we talk about these things, that it can get overly technical and into our head. So the basic question, I suggest you try that tonight again too, when you go home. I'm going to. And the basic question you can ask yourself is, where does it resonate in me that it feels freer, more well-being? That we feel more like a well-tuned instrument. Thank you.